Today I'm taking an A321neo from here at El Dorado Airport in Bogota to Tulum Airport in Mexico. It's a new airport in Mexico, kind of a new route entirely. This is the second segment of a do-it-yourself stopover that I did with Avianca. I stayed here in Bogota for 2 days.
The day began at the International Center of Bogota. I'll link to a hotel review above where I stayed. Spoiler alert, it isn't a good review.
Just walked in at El Dorado International Airport. This is Terminal 2, or the International Terminal.
In general, I found the Bogota airport to be a crowded, chaotic place, although the facility was rather new and there were many options for shopping and food. So the problem here seems to be just volume, or maybe poor design. Here at the Avianca check-in area, you'll see a kiosk that shows all of the airlines at the airport, and there are quite a few. The kiosk has full functionality, though. There's no real need to speak to a customer service agent. I'm flying today in Economy Plus service. Economy Plus is a package deal you can make on booking with Avianca. It includes a checked bag, as well as seat selection. However, selecting a seat in a more favorable location is something that costs extra. As we take a quick look at the apron, we're reminded that Bogota's 8 million people support a massive airport with dozens of airlines and hundreds of destinations. Terminal 2 has 3 different airsides, A, B, and C. I think airside C tends to be the transatlantic twin aisle aircraft. My flight was actually departing from AB airsides, and I moved over in that direction. There is a separate set of check-in desks available for airsides AB, which we can see here. Outside AB security, there was a large line for a vaccination clinic. I'm told these are free vaccinations for yellow fever available to both Colombians and foreign nationals.
There is some exit immigration apparently. I had to go through a security line here. This is passport check. I always hate going through security in airports and countries I'm not familiar with. Got a few things taken out of my toiletry bag. Just pro tip, the size of carry-on liquids in Colombia is a little bit smaller than the US. Not going to get in there today, but there's the Avianca lounge. Okay, only 21 gates here on AB. Shouldn't be too hard to find something. Looks like there's a few places to eat. I'm not entirely sure if I'm A or B, so I'm going to try and find a departure board. And there's the entrance to the Avianca lounge. Looks like you can get in if you're a Star Alliance Gold. Or American Express. 8A, 9B. So, while I was eating, my gate was changed to B3. So I'm headed over that way. Kind of happy about it because this side of the airport is way less crowded.
On my flight from Tampa to Bogota, the flight boarded an hour before departure time. I got to the gate an hour before, in case this flight did as well. In the end, it boarded 30 minutes before, just like a typical US narrow-body aircraft.
Plenty of seating around. I really like these reclining ones. That's pretty cool. The aircraft. Looks like there might have been an equipment change. It's now an A320neo. Shouldn't change too much my seat assignment. So just a few thoughts on Bogota as I depart. Bogota is a place with a lot of potential. It's very pretty. Really, it's worth about 2 days at most for tourism purposes, unless you're really into Colombian art and history. But yeah, overall, I'd say, Bogota is worth a stopover if you can make it happen on the way to other places. Perhaps a couple-day stopover here on the way to Medellin or Cartagena or somewhere farther south would be a really good idea.
Avianca only uses 4 boarding groups. Due to buying an Economy Plus ticket, I was in boarding group C.
C?
Grupo C, sigue, por favor, bienvenido. Permítame el tiquete de regreso, por favor.
The alarm wasn't as bad as it might seem. My return ticket to the United States was booked on United and out of Cancun Airport. Since this wasn't in Avianca's system, it triggered an alarm. After showing the reservation to the gate agent, I was allowed to board the flight. Avianca operates in the Americas, at least, on an ultra-low-cost carrier model. The back of the plane offers very inexpensive tickets, but is very uncomfortable. Seat pitch is as low as 28 inches, and there's no recline. Fortunately, you can buy your way up to better seats in the cabin, like I did with an Economy Plus package booking. I'm seated in seat 10C, which is towards the front of the aircraft, just before the emergency exits. As we pass the premium seats I reviewed in a previous video, we'll get a quick look at an empty row of Economy Plus seats. The Plus seats have adjustable headrests, vice holders, recline, and have in-seat power. On this 3.5-hour flight, it cost $34 to upgrade into this seat. Padding on all seats on the aircraft is very minimal, and as you can see, at 6 feet tall, I barely fit into the seat pitch. It's hard to imagine actually fitting into the 28-inch pitch, and there's your in-seat power supply. There is gate-to-gate Wi-Fi and entertainment. I covered that in another video I'll link above. Overall, these Recaro seats are a step down from US legacy airlines and in line with what you'd find on Frontier or other low-cost carriers. There is no complimentary food and beverage. There is a buy-on-board program, and I picked up this ham and cheese croissant, as well as a Coca-Cola as a package deal for $11 US. After an uneventful 3.5-hour flight, we arrive in Tulum, Mexico. The Tulum airport opened in late 2023 and is intended as a reliever airport for Cancun and Cozumel. It's served by several Latin American low-cost carriers, as well as US airlines from their hubs. So this is a really new airport. Bizarrely, though, out of 9 total gates, they chose to build only 4 jet bridges. On the day I arrived, these were in use by Avianca, WestJet, and the United aircraft. The Tulum airport is very nice, and seemingly also has a very light flight load. I believe my flight was the last to arrive at about 4:30 in the afternoon. The immigration corral runs right along the outside window of the airport and can be quite long depending on which gate or remote stand you come into. The airport is quite well themed, showcasing a lot of Mayan art and decorations reminiscent of the jungle that you're actually in. As a word of warning, the airport is 12 miles south of Tulum and can be up to an hour drive to some of the large resorts that are near Playa del Carmen. I made a video about Tulum Airport, which I'll link above. Immigration was straightforward, although every passenger from my flight received secondary screening at the customs hall. That could be because there were so few passengers, or it could be that my flight originated in Colombia. As we take a quick look at the baggage hall, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you got value from this video, please consider a like or a subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, and happy travels.